Om. Om Shri Ganeshaye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara Vande Guru Parampara. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Hare Namah Parvati Pataye, Hare Hare Mahadev, Shambho Shankara. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. In Narada Bhakti Sutras, in earlier class, we have discussed devotion is supreme, superior means to attain liberation. Sadhu karma jnana yogibhyah api adhikatara. This devotion is adhikatara, superior or greater to karma yoga, jnana yoga, and other all kinds of means also. Karma, jnana, hatha yoga, raja yoga, etc., etc. Why here Narada Maharshi is saying this bhakti is superior to all other means? Because so many places it is said jnana devatu kaivalyam, knowledge is very important. So what are the reasons? Two main reasons given here why the path of devotion is superior to other means for the liberation, to get liberation. Number one is phalarupatvat. Because this devotion is phalarupa, means it gives its result by itself. So devotion is means and devotion itself is goal also. Why? Because ultimately all other paths also, they should help the seeker of truth to become one with Bhagavan. So in the path of devotion, directly that devotee will identify himself Bhagavan, so that he will give up his name and form and he will realize his own Swarupa, Bhagavad Swarupa, that which is nothing but his own Swarupa. So here one reason is Phalarupatvat, because it is of the nature of final result. Whatever result is meant for all other paths, this devotion is leading to that final result. That's why this is superior and greater to others. And for many people, it's easy to follow also this path of devotion. When we take karma yoga, etc., earlier we have seen there are possibilities that person may become more arrogant and vanity will be developed in his heart when he is acting in this world, even though in the name of selfless activity sometimes that ego may arise. And even in the path of jnana also, when little bit known by that person, he may be thinking, I am great pandit, I know everything. It's like that thought may arise in his mind. He may fall from his path of pursuing that self truth. And even in yoga also, if that person is doing pranayama, etc., and other kinds of asanas, etc., in that hatha yoga and raja yoga also, if he will get even little bit siddhis also, if miracles, etc., he may fall from that higher path. He may develop again attachment with all these kind of lower kind of siddhis, etc. So there are possibilities in other means. That's why this devotion is Palarupa, final result it is going to give, it is said, superior. Not only that, one more reason. Ishwarasya api means even, Bhagwan also, abhimana dveshitvat dainya priyatvat cha. Bhagwan also loves the devotees, those who are humble in nature, meek in nature, and those who have surrendered to Bhagwan. And Bhagwan also doesn't like those who are very arrogant and having so much ego, etc. So, in the path of devotion, naturally that disciple, that devotee will be all the time feeling, I am nothing, Bhagwan, you are everything. I am nothing, I am helpless, Bhagwan, please come and protect me. It's quite natural for the devotee to remove that ego. That's why bhakti is adhikatara. Then how to develop this devotion for Bhagwan? In the next aphorism sutra is said in the next section number 2, chapter number 2 and section number 2. Sutra number 28. Please repeat after me. Tasyaha jnanameva sadhanamityeke tasyaha jnanameva sadhanamityeke. Some acharya, he is saying like this. Acharya means here Bhakti Acharya, who is the master of devotion, one who already followed the path of devotion and realized that one is with Bhagwan. So Bhakti Acharya, he is saying, Tasyaha, for devotion, how we can develop devotion? This is our question. So answer to this one is, for devotion, jnanameva sadhanam iti. Jnana, knowledge, knowing. Jnanam eva, alone. Knowledge alone is means, sadhanam, means to develop supreme love for Bhagwan. Bhakti. Why here it is said? Knowing, having knowledge will lead to devotion. Why this Acharya is saying like this? Because even in our worldly life also, when that person knowing more and more about anything, he will develop more and more love for it. For example, in this world, any person, he is having a little bit love for someone, and when he is having that even feeling towards that person, he starts inquiring about that person to know more and more. Where the person is staying, what he or she is doing, what are the hobbies, etc., etc., etc. When the person is knowing more and more, that more and more love also will be increasing. Here, when it comes to our spiritual path, devotional path, when we listen more and more about Bhagwan, see, for example, one person is there from the childhood onwards in their house, they kept Sri Ramchandraji's photo, and daily they used to perform puja. So this boy from childhood onwards, daily he also used to attend that puja along with family members. That time he didn't know anything about Ramchandraji. It's daily they are doing puja. He also is doing namaskar, etc. And after puja, anyway, they will offer that naivedya and they will give prasada. So that boy's more attention was the prasada. But not only prasada, when that puja is there, slowly what will happen, daily doing that puja, the thought of Bhagwan will be settled in that boy's mind. When he is growing more and more, he will understand, oh, so Ramji, Sitaji means, in childhood days he doesn't know anything. God means, okay, God means is after puja is I'll get prasad, that much only. But when he is growing slowly, he will understand Ramchandraji means it's not only it's in photograph. He is great. He is so great hero. It's like that. And afterwards, what will happen when that little bit love is there from childhood onwards? I am doing namaskar and this Bhagwan. When he will listen Ramayana, he will understand Ramchandraji, he is Dharma Swarupa, embodiment of that righteousness. And Sita Mata, she's so great. And Hanumanji, he's a great hero. It's like that. When slowly he will be listening and knowing more and more about Ramchandraji, Sita Mata, Hanumanji, and whatever characters, great characters are there in the Ramayana, then what will happen? Slowly, by listening and knowing more about Ramchandraji, that love for Ramchandraji, reverence for Ramchandraji will be increasing, that devotion. So in the childhood days, just as doing namaskar and getting prasad. But when he will come to know who is that Ramchandraji, from one standpoint, Ramchandraji is Dharma Swarupa. When he will make more inquiry into that, he will come to know Shuddha Brahma Para Rama. Ramchandraji is not only it's one incarnation on this earth, he came to establish dharma. He is in fact in nature, essential nature, he is nothing but Parabrahma Swarupa, Satchidananda Swarupa. So, here why this Bhakti Acharya is saying Jnanam eva tasyaha Jnanam eva sadhanam. Why he is saying knowledge alone is means to develop supreme love for Bhagwan, for bhakti, to develop bhakti. Because when we will be knowing more and more about Bhagwan, Ramchandraji or Krishna Bhagwan or our Ishta Devata, then what will happen? Our love also will increase. And when that devotee is listening, okay, Bhagwan likes this one, Bhagwan doesn't like this one. Even offering something to Bhagwan also, this Bhagwan, he likes this particular kind of naivedya. We have to offer this kind of flowers to this Bhagwan. Ganpati Bhagwan, he likes this, what you call, hibiscus flower. So particular kind of thing when we see, when we do, immediately our mind will connect to that Bhagwan. So when we will be listening more and more Bhagavad Gita, and when we will making more and more inquiry, then what will happen? More and more love will increase further. Even worldly kind of things also is like that only. When we are having even feeling of love, then we will make more and more inquiry about that person, and we will come to know more and more love will be increased. In family relationships also. Even in friendship also, that friend when in the beginning stages he thought okay, he is a good person like that, but afterwards he came to know he is not only a good person, he is a so great person. It's like that when he will come to know the nobler qualities about his friend. So here, that's why knowledge is means to develop bhakti. It is said by one Acharya. Then another Acharya, what he is saying, see, these are the from various different standpoints, they are explicit like this. Aphorism number 29. Sutra number 29. Anyonyastrayatvamityenye. Anyonyastrayatvamityenye. Anye, other Acharya, what he is saying, what he is declaring. Anyonya asrayatvam. Anyonya means mutual. Asraya means dependence. Anyonya asrayatva means mutual dependence. Mutual dependence of what? Mutual dependence of love and inquiry, love and knowledge. Iti, thus, ane, others. Others, they are declaring what they are saying. It's not only like that when we come to know, then we will develop love. Because sometimes what will happen, that person may be knowing so much about something, he may be knowing so much about one person, but it doesn't mean by just knowing so much, love will increase. For example, one student, even though he likes another kind of field, he wants to study something else, but because of his father's interest, he has taken particular subject and he became as advocate, lawyer. But he he wants to become good photographer. What happens? He studied and he is very intelligent student. And his father forced him, no, you have to become lawyer like that. He studied everything and he knows everything, that section, this section, and even he could, he could become the great advocate in that city. He knows much. He knows almost each and every minute point in the law, whatever said, particular field, whatever he has taken up. But in his heart, he doesn't have complete satisfaction what he's doing. He doesn't have love for his job, his profession. He wants to become good photographer. So even though he became great advocate, but whenever chance is there, he used to take that camera and he used to capture nice kind of beautiful pictures, and he used to enjoy a lot. What kind of wow, it's so nice, so beautiful. So just by knowing and just by having knowledge, just by making more and more inquiry, sometimes love may not arise. It may not be developed. Sometimes the possibility is there. That's why here it is a anyonya asrayam. Anyonya asrayam means it's mutual dependence is there. It's like that. Love is there. When love is there, inquiry is quite natural. When we do inquiry, we will get more knowledge. When we will get more knowledge, again love will be increasing, and because of that love, again we want to know more and more. It's like that. So love and inquiry means it's getting knowledge, gaining knowledge, both are mutual dependent. When it comes to our subject, bhakti, we have love for Bhagwan, and when we come to know the greatness and glories of Bhagwan, of course, knowing more and more, listening more and more Bhagavad Gita, love will be increasing. And when love is increasing, again that person wants to know more and more. He will not be satisfied. It's like that. First he will start singing Bhagwan's glories. It's one bhajan, two bhajans, like that. He will not stop there. He wants to sing more and more the glories of Bhagwan. He will learn more bhajans and he will be singing in different ways, and he will be himself, he will be composing more and more, and he will be knowing what are the meanings of those things, whatever earlier composed by great Bhakta Acharyas, Annamacharya ji and Tyagaraja Swamiji. So when he will have that love, he will make that inquiry, he will gain knowledge, and when he gains knowledge, again and again that love will be increasing. So that's why here few acharyas, they are declaring these are mutual dependent. Anyonya Asrayatvam iti Anya. Clear? See, first statement also it's correct only. We cannot say it's tasyaha jnanameva sadhanam. That is also correct. When we have even a little bit love, when we'll come to know, sometimes, in fact, when our intellect is satisfied, then whatever is required, we will be 100% ready to do for it. If once our intellect will have conviction, yes, this is good cause, then the person will be ready to sacrifice anything. Example, for example, freedom fighters. When that person understood this is nobler cause and we required this independence for this cause, higher cause, we should do anything. Once he convinced this is the good cause, then he will be ready to even sacrifice his life also. How it happens, how much love he will be having for that country, how it happened, because he got that knowledge, he gained that knowledge, he understood what is the purpose of it, what is the cause. So then, because of that knowledge, he developed that love for country. He understood what is the greatness and glory of great other freedom fighters. Then he also will be ready to sacrifice anything for that higher cause. That's why it's knowledge also is means to develop love. And mutual independence also is correct. Next one. Next sutra number 30. Another acharyas, the great bhakta acharyas, bhakti acharyas, what they are saying, swayam phalarupa itim swayam phalarupatiti swayam phalarupatiti brahmakumaraha swayam phalarupatiti brahmakumaraha. Who is saying this one? Who is declaring this bhakti? How bhakti can be developed? This sutra. Brahmakumaraha, the mind-born sons of Creator Brahmaji. Brahmakumaraha, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata. Sujati, somewhere it is said. Sanat, Sanandan, Sanat, Sanatan. These are the four mind-born sons of Brahmaji. These are the brothers of Narad Maharshi. Because Narad Maharshi also is Manasaputra of Brahmaji. And this Narada Maharshi, he gained lot of knowledge from his brothers. That's why he considered them as acharyas, his gurus. So Narada Maharshi here he is saying, what Brahma Kumaras, Sanat Kumaras, they are saying, it's not like only by jnana love will increase, devotion will be developed, and it's not only, it's like a mutual dependence, not like that. Swayam phalarupata iti. They are declaring this love, devotion doesn't require any other means. Why? Because swayam phalarupata. Swayam means on its own. Swayam phalarupata means gives its reward, result. Here 3 points. Number 1 is by inquiry, by gaining knowledge, love will increase for Bhagwan. First one. Okay. Second one, it's mutual depending means love will lead to inquiry to gain knowledge, and knowledge, that which is gained, will lead to love. So both are depending on each other, like that. Love, inquiry, love, like that. Love for Bhagwan. Third point, that which is said by Sanat Kumaras, Brahmaputras, is love increases love. Nothing else is required. It's not depending on anything. Love increases love. How? In our worldly relationships, if we want to understand, parents, how much love they will be having towards their children. When the person comes to know he or she going to become parent, mother and father, the thought of love for that child, not yet born, but already love started. Yes. And when they will see their child, that time onwards, they will be having so many dreams, and all the time they will be having thought about that child. It's quite common. And when the children, they are growing, parents' love will increase or decrease? Grihasthas, you have to tell. Okay, you are showing like this means it will increase. Okay, right. It will be increasing day by day, day by day, day by day. When that child slowly started walking, that time, my child is started walking. But when that child first started speaking few words, lovely words, wow. Even that person will not take delight when he will be listening melodious music or Vedic mantras, nothing. But when he will be listening few words from the mouth of his own child, how much joy will be there. And because of that, it's every day that love will be increasing, and he will be all the time thinking what I can give to my son or baby, how I can make them happy. So in the same way, that devotee also, when once he feels he is my Bhagwan, the devotee will be all the time thinking of Bhagwan, and day by day that love will be increasing. Love increases love. It's like that. And the devotee will be thinking what I can offer to Bhagwan. Today what Naivedya I can prepare for Bhagwan, what kind of flowers I can offer to Bhagwan, how I can sing the glories of Bhagwan. He will learn new bhajan, new song to glorify, to sing Bhagwan's glory. And he will be writing about Bhagwan, he will be thinking of Bhagwan. All the time, whatever that person will be doing, but his thought, one side will be all the time be connected to the Bhagwan only. So that love encourages love. How parents' love will be increasing day by day towards their children. And when their children will grow up, and when they will start earning money, and when they will start taking care of their parents, how much joy will be there in the heart of parents, and that time love will be increasing more. And when their children will get married and settle down, and when these parents become grandparents, love will be increasing more and more towards the entire family. So here Brahma Kumaras, they are saying devotion, love for Bhagwan, it's not depending on any particular kind of thing. Love increases love. So bhakti itself is means, bhakti itself is goal. Next example, Narad Maharshi is saying, what is the example? Rajegruha bhojanadishu tathaiva drushtatvat. Raja Gruha Bhojanadishu. Example is the examples of king, home and dinner. Bhojana. Tathaiva. In the same manner, Tathaiva Drushtatvat. Drishtatvat means it can be seen, it can be demonstrated, because it is seen, demonstrated. What is the example given here? There was a king, and so many people, they are working under him in his palace, courtyard. One who is daily going to that palace of king, it doesn't mean that person is very close to that king. That person may be going to the palace to serve the king in various means, not directly is going to king and is speaking to him and doing something. That person may be serving in the palace, doing some other various kinds of works, cleaning and decorating and or supplying few objects, whatever required in that palace. One who is going daily to the palace and just seeing the king, it doesn't mean he is very closer to the king. When that person is serving sincerely, that may be a security guard or someone, when that king, he will notice the sincerity and great service of that person. When that king will call him and he will encourage him and he will give promotion to him, and afterwards that ordinary kind of soldier, kind of security guard kind of person, when he will understand, yes, the king is so great, I have to serve more and more, then the king, when he will accept that person as his own, then only we can say, yes, that person is really connected to king. In the same way, when the devotee is having sincerity, when he is having love for Bhagwan, when he is developing that love, he will becoming closer, near to that Bhagwan, going near to Bhagwan. Here going near to Bhagwan means all the time thinking of Bhagwan. Finally, when that devotee will dissolve his ego completely and he will identify himself completely with Bhagwan, becomes one with Bhagwan, that is the highest kind of thing. It doesn't mean just that person is saying, I am Bhakta, I am Bhakta, I am Bhagwan Bhakta, I am Bhagwan Bhakta. Unless he will be having that complete bhava for Bhagwan, he will not be considered as Bhakta. So that love should be there, and day by day that love should increase. And another example it's given, having dinner. Just by seeing the food, hunger will not be satiated. So when that person is having the food, that time only hunger will be satisfied. For this one, it's like, again, this example we can take in that, what you call King's Palace. They arranged wonderful kind of a feast that they arranged, and they invited so many great people, great VIPs, all of them, they came. When that person entered into the palace and when he is just serving there as a server, when he went there serving food, etc. there, it doesn't mean he is one of them. When actually he will go there as a very important person, when he will sit there along with them, when he will have that food, then that is the final kind of thing. Here, Narada Maharshi wants to say, when that devotee will be having the complete surrenderance, when he will identify completely with Bhagwan, then only the reward of bhakti will be there. Means he will become one with Bhagavad Swarupa. Anything just by saying or just by seeing, we cannot say it's already we experienced it. So here thought is the experience of that oneness with Bhagwan is the ultimate goal. So devotion, that love for Bhagwan, when we are having that bhava, that love itself will increase love. That is the thought. Na tena raja paritoshaha kshuda shantirva, connected to earlier aphorism only. Na tena, tena means because of it. Because of it means by just knowledge alone. I know the king, that person go on saying daily. How you came to know the king? Because I am the barber in that palace. So I know the king. It doesn't mean really he knows the king. We may be saying we know the prime minister like that, but the prime minister knows you or not. You know the king, you are saying daily you are going and supplying vegetables there. Even king did not aware of it. Someone is coming and supplying vegetables. Even king doesn't know the name of that person. Then how can that person say, I know the king very well? It's like that. So, na tena raja paritoshaha kshuda shantirvam. Just by knowledge alone, Raja Paritoshaha, the favor of the king, will not be there. In the same way, another example, Kshuda Shanti. Kshuda Shantirva means just by seeing the food, just by uttering the names of delicious foods, names, hunger will not be satisfied. The appeasement of hunger will be there when actually that person will have that food. So these are the examples. In Sutra number 33, they said, Tasmat Saiva Grahyaha Mumukshubhim. Tasmat Saiva Grahyaha Mumukshubhihi. Grahyaha Mumukshubhihi. Tasmat, therefore, because of this reason. What is the reason? Love increases love. Tasmat, therefore, mumukshubhihi, by the seekers of liberation. Sa eva, saiva is there, na? Sa eva, that supreme love for God alone, eva, grahyaha, to be sought for. So the path and goal both are same. This point should be clear. What is the means? Bhakti. What is the goal? Bhakti. In other things, Karma Yoga, for example. Karma Yoga is means. What is the goal? Goal is self-realization, but by Karma Yoga directly we cannot get liberation. Karma Yoga meant for Chitta Shuddhi. So goal of that Karma Yoga is Chitta Shuddhi. But when it comes to Bhakti, means Bhakti, love for Bhagwan. And goal, love for Bhagwan only. In that one only, that devotee will disappear, only Bhagavad Swarupa will remain. Bhagavad Swarupa will remain. So, Bhakti means love for Bhagwan, will increase love for Bhagwan. Of course, inquiry, gaining knowledge also will help to develop more love for Bhagwan. Once we will chant these sutras from 28 onwards. Tasyaha jnanameva sadhanamityeke अन्योन्याश्रयत्वमित्यन्ये स्वयं फलरूपतेति ब्रह्मकुमाराः राजगृहभोजनादिषु तथैव दृष्टत्वात् न तेन राजपरितोषः क्षुधा शान्तिर्वा तस्मात् सैव ग्राह्याः मुमुक्षुभिः. Best example for all these things, Bhakta Prahlada, love for Bhagwan, having love for Bhagwan, that's all. See, sometimes we may be thinking like this also, just by studying so many shastras, love for Bhagwan will increase. Of course, that is also will helpful, But just by getting information, sometimes it may lead to more and more ego. That's why in the path of devotion, even though that bhakta is so knowledgeable, shastrajnaha means he might have studied so many scriptures, but when the thought of devotion is there, how much maybe he is knowledgeable, pandit, because of this thought of love for Bhagwan, he will be so humble. In fact, this bhakti is so powerful, means it helps that seeker a lot not to fall at any step, any level. It will lead directly to the supreme state of realization. This is the greatest power of bhakti. Even after realization also, Mahatmas, they will be having love for Bhagwan. That is called Jnanottara Bhakti. How many great, even Advaita Acharyas also, even our Pujya Shankaracharya ji, Adi Shankaracharya ji, is Brahmajnani, Advaita. But how many kinds of stotras composed by him? Wherever he has gone and visited pilgrimage places, immediately he composed stotra, singing the glory of that deity. So that's why Narad Maharshi is saying, this bhakti is very, the path of devotion is very powerful means to become one with Bhagavan. The next session, we will see remaining sutras. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.